Hello, hello, and welcome back to Minotaur Hotel. We're having dinner. Things are happening. You hear the sound of glass shatter near the bar. No one seems to react to it, but Luke's fuck elects yet another round of laughter from the guests. The South American workers sitting right next to the bar stare incredulous as the griffin sweeps the shards of glass with his bare feet. Completely unfazed into a corner, and away from wherever the guests might walk past. As Luke walks back behind the bar to, you hope, grab an actual broom and clean the mess, he winks and gives both men finger guns before disappearing into the kitchen. Both you and Asterion can feel it amidst the bustle that fills the lounge, that mixture of heavy melancholy and light, a fluttering hope, a swelling in your chest. Only now do you realize how silent the hotel had been so far. No footsteps breaking the the hallway's monotony. No voices to bring new thoughts, skittering to one's mind. The hotel's stagnant air made the both of you lethargic. We got there. And tonight, after 80 years of silence, the beast is vanquished. You look to Asterion, your newfound partner in crime, and his eye brims with the very same emotion. The voices, the ruckus, is that how that word is? Laughter and broken glass, the occasional look cast over in the Minotaur and at you. It is like a liberation. You slouch in your seat, drifting down the current of self-satisfaction, while Asterion downs another glass of wine. Perhaps your smile makes you approachable. Over the next 10 minutes, two guests make their way over to ask a few questions, and thank you for your hospitality. The same cannot be said for Asterion, as joyful as he may be. No one spares him a word, although you do catch a number of sideways glances aimed in his general direction. You try to integrate the Minotaur into the conversation, but you're met with the same wall time and time again. First, Asterion no longer displays the eloquence from earlier, and second, the guests cannot contain their shuddering around him. You scoot closer to the Minotaur when attention turns away from the both of you. Sorry, is this too much for you? If you don't want to stay, it's fine.
No. I am enjoying it here. I am. I really am. Everyone's so lively. I miss this. It is just that. So many voices at once. It is a tad confusing. It's easy when I'm talking only with you, but it's been a long while since I've been around so many people. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. None of this is your fault. Do you want to leave? The Minotaur swirls the wine in his cup, more of a distraction than an attempt to draw out its aroma. He downs it, leans back into his chair, and enjoys the spread warmth from the chest to extremities.
No, I just need a while to get used to it.
Asterion gazes at his wine glass. It's tinted purple from the last remaining drops. The Minotaur lets out a cough, just like me, clearing his throat from the burning sensation. When he looks back, he needs a second to focus on you. He moves with a languid languid, deliberation, delighted in how tipsy he's getting. The Minotaur's relaxation, however, rises in attention. His eyes, drowsy as they may be, betrayed and intense purpose. What is Asterion thinking? The two of you remain in silence, alone in the thought, but not lonely. His ears flick once, twice. They strain to drown out. That's what that is. Yeah, drown out everything else. The laughter and chatter, dragging chairs and clicking of cutlery, and focus on you. On your breathing and whatever words you might say next. He appraises your every feature, but latches onto your eyes. Your eyes. For a moment, it's as if he's trying to gaze at your soul, but a smile breaks his own focus. He giggles and looks away. Is something the matter?
The silliest thing overtook me. Have you ever looked at someone, a person you know, and quite by surprise, found yourself seeing them for the first time? What a precious thing. For a moment, there it felt as if I had only just met you, and yet you were so familiar, Mr. Mr. Josh.
Maybe you were confusing me with a guest from a long time ago.
No, that is not it. I'm sure of it. I can't place my finger. Perhaps not a guest. No, surely not a master. This old mind of mine, where is this coming from? This. I was trying to point it out. What is it about you that makes... making... I thought it could, be your eyes, but... No, it isn't the way you look. But now, Have you ever felt as if you had hummingbirds tickling at the back of your skull?
That's odd phrasing.
That's what I was feeling. But now, I'm just looking back, thinking of a friend here and there. Isn't it sweet to taste old memories? I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't know where I was going with this. But, remembering all my old friends, it feels as if they are all here again. It's just you and me, but I feel... Maybe I should be thankful for...
The conversation around you wanes and dies down. That is, until you both notice a chair being dragged close to you, to Asterion and you. Oh, hello! Sorry if I'm interrupting anything. My name is Greta. I'm from Germany, and I'm very curious. I'm grateful for this. Everything, really. My boyfriend and I hadn't had a shower in a few days, let alone a good meal. The smell was becoming an issue. But you see, in a single day, I learned that there is such a thing as a Minotaur, and also a talking eagle in a desert. We were in Eastern Europe, and now in a desert. That's a lot to take in, and let me say, I've always been a very curious girl. So, if you don't mind me asking, how does this whole thing work? Non-human beings, I mean.
Oh, we exist. Beings, which aren't quite human. Here and there, they pop up, but they keep themselves hidden. Not the case here. Where their charms won't work, their true shape is revealed.
There? You talk as if you are different from them.
In a way, yes.
The Minotaur looks down at his empty glass, then turns his gaze towards you.
Would you like some more wine?
No, I'm fine. This is a good one. I'm enjoying every sip. Greta fidgets as Asterion pours himself a tall glass of wine. what is your story then? Are you different from the others? Asterion keeps his gaze on the glass, but responds without missing a beat and with a peculiar, cold intonation.
I was born here, in this hotel. I chose to stay behind and care for it. But as you can see, things are not going well.
Asterion gives you a quick glance, as if asking for your permission to proceed. You remain quiet, and he takes that as his cue.
I was recovering from a grave injury, and meanwhile, the hotel fell into disrepair.
Not despair? Come on.
Zetsubo. Because the previous owner neglected it. But things have changed for the better ever since our ownership passed to Master Josh.
Greta looked you up and down, with a gaze so sharp it almost seemed threatening. Why do you call him Master? What's up with that? Asterion doesn't hesitate this time.
This is how my family has always called the owner of the establishment. Our lineage has served them for a number of generations. That's why I chose to be here. This is my calling, and I am eager to see the hotel once more bustling with life like it used to be.
So, you are like a butler? Asterion nods, not bothering to look up from his wine. Have you ever thought about finding a job elsewhere? Asterion sways his head from side to side. And having kids? Do you plan on meeting a lady Minotaur and having babies? I mean, that's how it works for you, I presume. A man and a lady Minotaur? You aren't the son of a cow and a human, are you?
My, parents were Minotaurs.
Oh, that's good to hear. How, squeaky would the alternative be, yes? Now, about my question. What about having kids yourself? Little baby moos must be so cute. Asterion doesn't bother responding. He only looks at her in between his sips. Greta bites her lip and fidgets at her seat. I'm sorry I'm being so invasive. It's just, this is all very new to me. To us, I suppose. Do these questions bother you? It is only now that Asterion looks at you. His gaze holds on you for a second too long. His smile, you see, has a tinge of fakeness.
I am used to them. Is there anything else you would like to know?
About your eyes. Do you need medical help? My boyfriend is a doctor. We were talking earlier this afternoon about it. Look, we know there's more going on here than it looks. Magic, or whatever you'd call it. But, is there anything a medic can do to help?
You are very kind, but I'm afraid a doctor won't be able to do much for me. I am not exactly... things function differently for me. But you don't have to worry. I'm well. It won't be long before I'm healed again.
Oh, so you can grow your eye back. That's incredible. You know, it'd be great to study how you do that. Surely modern medicine would stand to gain from... I'm sorry, I guess that was too far.
Pardon the curiosity, but where are you from?
I'm from East Berlin. I grew up not too far from where the wall stood, but I was born a few years after it fell. My boyfriend is from, Dijon, France, from the place where all of the colorful mustards come from.
I see. Oh, and what is East Berlin like?
It's pretty good nowadays. Of course, there is still a bit of a gap. It will take a while before East and West are truly equal. But it's charming, in a way. Everywhere you'll see the, you'll see the little Soviet stick figures on the traffic signals. It's so cute. And the nightlife is, of course, fantastic. It's Berlin, after all. At the mention of East Berlin and Soviet, I am saying this right? I don't know. Asterion's eyes flick over to you for a fraction of a second. Then it jumps over to the other people around the table as he realizes they are growing silent and distracting their attention towards him. But we won't forget that we won't stay in Berlin for long. My boyfriend and I have wants to live in England for years now, and we are trying to make that work. And we always want to backpack across Europe, so we figured now was a good moment. My twin sisters all did it, and I've been hearing for years now how fun it was. So here we are. And now that Greta has broken the ice, people are looking, and Asterion grows stiff at the realization. You should visit when we settle down. Or just in Berlin, too. That would be great. Imagine showing everyone a real-life Minotaur. If money is a real problem, there are so many excellent hostels. Okay. And you can rent a place online, too, if you want privacy. The Minotaur looks to you. It's no longer a stealthy sign. He goes as far as to swing his head from side to side as a call for help. You can't let him go through this. It's easy coming up with an excuse. Asterion, perhaps it's time we return to the office. We have some paperwork to go through before tomorrow, don't we?
Ah, yes, the contracts. Excuse me, Miss Greta. I am afraid I must go back to work.
At this hour? Now that's quite late. That's not nice, Mr. Josh. You shouldn't be treating your employees like that. You could say Asterion is more of a business partner to me, actually. We are in this together, and starting a new business involves a lot of sleepless nights. So, it is with great pain that I must steal him away.
If it's for the hotel, I'm happy to work all night long.
Greta looks at you, then at the Minotaur, then back to you. As she does, you see her smile getting wider before her lips part, and an obnoxious, shrill giggle erupts. The Middle Eastern students turn around, startled by the noise. Oh, I see. Then that's okay. It was nice meeting you, Mr. Asterion. I hope my questions didn't offend you. Greta punctuates her sentence by smiling and closing both her eyes in a strained gesture. You fail to understand this for a moment, but it seems like she is attempting to wink and failing.
Don't worry, I am used to them. I hope you have an enjoyable stay with us.
You and Asterion start rising to your feet when Greta speaks up once more. Oh, one last thing, I almost forgot. Is there Wi-Fi here? My 4G isn't working either. I don't have reception.
Wi-Fi?
Oh, that. No, not yet. I'll look into it. How, though? How can internet be brought to a magical realm that just, pulls people in? Okay, so the Soviets, for starters. The Allies won World War II, but near the end of the war, America unveiled a new type of bomb, one that was more powerful than any ever made before. After the war, Russia managed to make one of their own. The catch here is that America was capitalist, and the Soviet Union was capitalist, communists. They started the Cold War, which wasn't a war in the strictest sense of the word. They were vying for influence among other countries while threatening each other with a bomb. They both had so many that they could destroy each other at any time. It's what people call mutually assured destruction. And this relates to Berlin because after World War II, the Soviets and Americans divided it in two with a wall between East and West. It divided families and communities for years, but it fell in the 90s, along with the Soviet Union. That was a big moment for world history.
That all sounds so overwhelming. And these bombs, were they the kind that were thrown off airplanes?
At first, yes, but later they were put into missiles. That's how can I put it? A kind of unmanned plane that will explode when it hits the target. It was a very tense time for everyone, but we left it behind for the most part.
Yes, yes.
The voices from the lounge subside as the two of you climb the spiral stairs side by side. The air here is chilly now. A breeze from the valley passes through the narrow, rocky exit far below to flow upward. It snakes through the gap in the middle of the stairs until it grazes your skin in Asterion's fur. It is not unpleasant, however. The shiver it sends up your spine makes you aware of your whole body, aware of each swaying, drunken step. Asterion sways with a similar inebriated gait, left and right with each hoof step, echoing all the way down the valley. Without noticing it, Asterion starts humming, and your footsteps align with its rhythm. At times, you even feel his tail graze your leg. What an odd pair the two of you make. Thousands of times have the masters and their servant walk up and down these stairs, but never did they do it side by side while swaying to the same song. Generations after generations, the Minotaur has done his best to stick to the shadows. The less he was noticed, the smaller the chance of Lord's ire would turn against him. But looking from afar, when one can't quite identify the features and clothing, what distinguishes a lord from his subjects? Perhaps only a pair of horns and hooves, although humanity is quite pliable. Humanity is quite pliable. It is not. It is it not? Yeah. Okay. How hard is it to look over another's differences? Humans are familiar with change, quite different indeed from the gods who said they had said to have created them. And his servant, this prisoner, tonight a smidgen of humanity fidgets within him. Disquiet and want sizzle just underneath the surface. While Asterion speaks, his voice carries a new gravity to it.
Master, did you mean it when you said I was a business partner to you?
In your drunkenness, you answer without a second thought. Yup, you and I are in this together. Was it just my impression, or did the idea please you?
Oh, you have quite the honeyed tongue. That is all. How could I not smile at your words? Still, you have the silliest ideas, my lord. It is not possible that I could ever be your equal.
Even if the hotel won't allow it, I will treat you as such. That's what matters.
Ah, that thought suffices, my lord. It is enough for me to know that you care.
It's just the right thing. I am not trying to be heroic here. I'm just treating you with the respect a human deserves. And about that, I'm sorry for putting you in a tight spot tonight. I should have known it could become uncomfortable.
But I wanted it. Miss Greta was a handful, but I enjoyed spending the night with others, my lord. Eating at the table with company, now that's something I missed.
Oh, so you may grace them with your presence, but you won't have a meal at the same table as I do. Asterion pauses and looks at you with a glimmer in his eye.
Is that truly something you desire? You have asked it of me a few times. Eating alongside the guests and staff was my routine, but the Lord stands above all. To share the same table with the Master, that is most unorthodox.
If it's something I truly want, would you do it?
I shall obey your orders, my lord.
Not as a command, I mean. Would you, by your own will, choose to share your meals with me at the same table?
Ah, how can I put it? I'd be ashamed of it. Shy. It may sound like such a small thing to you, but to me, it is quite ingrained. Would you laugh at me if I somehow act silly?
Well, I will try not to. Not guaranteed, though. No guarantees, though. What I can promise is that if I do laugh, it will be with you and not at you. Asterion stifles the burst of laughter and attempts to feign a measure of indignation. Still, his ears and tail flick playfully.
You scoundrel!
Asterion laughs and continues climbing the stairs.
Very well, I will share a meal with you if the invitation is extended. Breakfast?
Yes, breakfast. Okay, I think I'll end the part here, so I'll see you around, everyone.